Hi guys, welcome to Megalera Design. So, how are you all? I hope everyone is safe. So today's our live topic is very special, how to prepare for interview of IIT and NID for Master Design program. And we have guests from different IITs and they have given interview in almost all IIT. We have Nipurn Solanki from IIT Bombay, he is a motorcycle designer. Then we have Bangre from IIT Delhi, he is an industrial and product designer. Then we have Amandeep Verma, he is from IIT Guwahati and he is an industrial designer. And their work is really phenomenal. And yes, we're waiting to join them. We'll have a discussion with them. Yeah, hi everyone.
Hi.
Hi Anil, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Hi,
Yeah,
Vaibhav.
hi, Aman.
Hello, Anand.
Hi, Aman. Hi.
Yes.
Hello.
Nipun is there also. Yeah. Okay.
Hi,
How you
Nipurn.
doing? After a long time, यार बहुत दिनों
After
के
long
बाद
time. So
एक
2017 batch. After a long time.
Yeah.
It's nostalgic.
yeah, definitely. It's like reunion or something like that.
Yes.
Good.
Okay. So guys, should we start with our session? Cause
Yeah,
we
you can
can.
go ahead.
Yeah. Yes. So we'll discuss first your interview experience at your college. Okay.
Okay.
Thoroughly. Within 10 minutes, 5 to 7 to 10 minutes. Okay. Because we have a limited amount of time. Okay. So that's fine for you. So yes, starting with Nipun at IIT Bombay. Yes. How was your experience? Please let us know.
So for me, most of my interview kind of went towards manufacturing and materials because one of the projects that I had in the beginning of my portfolio was about custom bikes that I worked on. So from there only, it kind of diverted to that field and mostly about manufacturing processes, like about injection molding, blow molding, and there were some stuff that they have kept and they were asking that how is this made, what is the material used for it. So it was like that. Again, it depends of how you have like arranged your projects in your portfolio. That is one thing where you have ended your introduction because they are most likely to pick up from there. So that is also a factor which may be in play, and also depends on from IIT to IIT. I mean, Kanpur was altogether a very different experience. So yeah, I think everyone would agree with me on that
Yeah,
because it was very technical.
Yes.
It was very much on technical side.
exactly.
So yeah, this is how it went for me. So based on my portfolio, the way I have arranged the projects, and then the point where I have ended my introduction. So yeah.
Yes. So can you remember what was the question they asked during your interview?
Yeah, so mostly like they started with asking about my projects. So some of the projects that I've done, they've asked what was the motive behind it, what was your thought process. So that all of that I have explained to them, to the interviewers. And then again, as I said, most of my interview was on material and manufacturing processes. So
Right.
asking about some of the processes. Yeah.
And any challenges, any problem you faced during your interview?
Not actually. You have to be like confident with yourself. they are like really kind. ऐसा कुछ है नहीं कि they'll intimidate you or something. So you just have to be confident with whatever work you have done, and I think that will work. Yeah.
Yeah. And simultaneously, you got into IIT Delhi as well.
IIT Delhi, yeah, IIT Delhi and Triple IIT DM Jabalpur, I guess.
Yes.
Guwahati ka interview was after IIT Bombay result was announced, so I didn't appear for that.
Yes. Yes. So can you talk about little bit IIT Delhi's experience also?
IIT Delhi, actually, I don't remember much because it was very short, like for 10 or 15 minutes, whereas IIT Bombay went on for like almost half an hour. So
That's
IIT Delhi, I don't remember much, but then mostly they were looking into my portfolio. And one important thing is like if you can have multiple copies. Like for us, it was not an online interview. So we went there, and the idea is like if you have multiple copies of a portfolio, you can engage the interviewer in your portfolio, and possibly they'll ask you some less questions. So that is one thing that I did, and I think that worked out for me. Like not much questions were there, mostly about the projects. Again, yeah.
absolutely. And sometimes it depends on the faculty's interest. Like if they are interested in
True,
some
true, true,
aesthetics,
true,
ergonomics
true.
on that. Yes.
Yeah, that is true. So for IIT Bombay interview, there was a ergonomics professor as well. So those questions will also be shot onto you. So yeah, be prepared for that. I mean, you never know how the panel is going to be composed. So there can be a professor from product design, maybe from ergonomics. So yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So we are moving ahead with another interview experience of Anal at IIT Delhi. So can you please explain?
Okay. IIT Delhi experience. Okay, I'll talk about Delhi first. Since I started with like the first interview which I gave in IIT was ISC Bangalore. So ISC Bangalore was like total into engineering. They are like 60 to 70% engineering and 30% of design. So and what I have faced mostly because I came from first masters and the IITs was my second master. So the first question they asked like why you want to do a second master. So that was the most challenging. So but yeah, the obvious answer was I want to go more deep into design. So that was my answer. So the experience of IIC Bangalore was totally engineering side. So they were like pretty detailed into till like GD&T and all the technical stuff they went into. But in for IIT Bombay, it was like Nipun said, it was more like ergonomics and the manufacturing processes. And for me, it was like more easy ways because in my first master, I more learn into injection molding and all the manufacturing processes were. So that was the IIT Bombay interview, and the Delhi one was like Delhi is known for its research, design research. So it was more into that. And I remember I made my portfolio like totally handmade. The sketches, some renders were like printed, but otherwise all the document and everything was handmade. So they were more into that stuff, how the research goes, what are the research methods. I didn't know about that much of that time, but yeah, so it's depend like Nipun said, it was totally depend on in which IIT you are going into for design specifically, and it's better to know that what they are known for. Like IIT Delhi known for research and UX design, IIT Bombay is known for transportation and the ergonomics part. So you have to have that kind of at least in our mind that how you will prepare and what you will say, because it's totally depend on how you tell the story about your portfolio and how you presented that and how you can engage for them for like 15 minutes, which will give them a very good idea for like next 4 to 5 days, so that they remember you. Okay, this has to be the person you have to select because there is only 15 of them.
Absolutely. Okay. So next, going ahead with Aman's experience. Yes, Aman. Can you please
Okay.
elaborate?
So as Nipun and Anala had already explained about their experiences with IIC Bangalore and IIT Kanpur. So my experience is also kind of similar because I also come from a mechanical background. So when you go to IIT Bangalore, they will take a test, pseudo test. Yeah. So it had, engineering questions. Almost all like questions
Yes.
were like from mechanical engineering background. So, and after that they have this interview thing. So during the interview, the same thing they have a few objects and all, and they'll ask you about the processes, manufacturing processes and materials. And one thing also was there that they will ask you about some mechanisms. So if it is based on current scenarios. So if you have something like this and if you want to perform this operation, so how would you change this particular object into something so that you can achieve that? So that's how you will give them solution, like what kind of links you can form, or what kind of mechanism you can use to achieve that particular operation that they are asking. And similarly, in IIT Kanpur also, they are very technical. They also gave me some scenario-based questions. So on spot, they asked me a lot of questions. I don't even remember. IIT Kanpur, they did not ask anything from portfolio. In IIT Bangalore also, they did not see the portfolio. So after that, we went to IIT Bombay for interview. In IIT Bombay, they were very keen about the portfolio and all. They would ask questions, a lot of questions from the portfolio. They'll comment on your sketching. They'll comment on the process that you have followed for your projects. And they'll expect you to answer a lot of questions regarding the function of the product as well as the styling of the product. So some of the questions are like there was a train question, I think, if you remember. So if you travel in a train and you have certain problem with the,
Yes.
then how would you change is there any solution for that? Like, for example, washroom solution, can you have, something to solve the washroom issue? And also about the, there were a lot of questions related to that particular scenario. So you should be aware of a lot of things. Like if you have traveled in train, so you should be, aware of things that, okay, there are a lot of problems that you see and you can actually think about that. So designer's main objective is to, observe things around and come up with some solutions and at least have things in mind so that you can actually think about something. Apart from that, they also asked me about a car. So it was like if you have WagonR, and how would you turn it? How would you convert the WagonR to a sporty-looking car? And how will you achieve that? And what can make it look sporty? So if you answer this question, there will be a lot of things. So we can change this, we can change that, we can change the wheels and a lot of things, a lot of parts of the car. And again, the follow-back questions will be like, do you think that this kind of wheel will make it look sportier? Or this kind of bonnet design, this kind of grill design, or this kind of anything. There are a lot of elements that we think are sporty. So we should be clear about that. What makes it look sporty? So questions like they'll cross question on everything, and you won't know that whether you are right or wrong, whether they're making fun of you or not. So, but it's all in all, it's a good experience because what they're checking is the confidence. What they're checking is the clarity about concepts. A lot of. And after that, I think we went for IIT Delhi exam where we were given one question. It was some sort of vehicle or something.
We had to make a
Yeah,
model.
there were 2-3 questions.
Yeah,
We had to
model,
make a model
paper
and
model.
we had to
Paper
solve
model.
some problem.
Yes.
Exactly, we had to
Yeah.
solve some problem. So I did that vehicle wala problem. So it was that vehicle wala project. So they asked me questions based on that, and also they asked me questions related to some furniture. And there were some scenario-based questions. On-spot sketching was also there. In IIT Delhi, they asked me to sketch on spot.
Yeah, on spot. Yeah.
And yeah. And the last interview was IIT Guwahati, the biggest panel. So they have 13, 14 people sitting around you, and they will ask full questions on
Semicircle
portfolio
panel.
one by one.
Full like semicircle.
Exactly, and you won't know who is asking which question and whom to answer first, whom to answer later. And they'll be making fun of you, and they'll be chilling around. Yeah. So that was the experience with IIT Guwahati. In IIT Guwahati, we had a storyboarding assignment. In students,
Yes.
they asked for storyboarding, and after that, in interview
Swaroop
they
sir
were
was
asking about
invigilator.
more about the interest and what you are going to do. Like, what will be your main stream? Like, you are going to do industrial, automotive, or because since it's a common course, so they'll ask about the elective and all. So I said industrial design, so they had asked a lot of questions about industrial. Why industrial? What do you believe you will do after you do industrial design from here? And also about inspirations and all. And there were a lot of sketches in my portfolio, and I also had automotive design work. So they were asking about that. They also asked me to sketch nano. So if you are asked to design use case,
I guess
so
he
you
having
know you
some
have,
network issue.
if you're applying for automotive or industrial, then you need to have some idea about proportions, and you need to have some idea about the existing products. So if you don't know the nano proportions, then it would be really difficult to sketch nano. And they just want to see your confidence, your approach, and your attitude also. It's very important to have a positive attitude. It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. What matters is that you are willing to learn. So you have to have that attitude that you are willing to learn a lot of things, that you are really, you're desiring to do this particular course. You're here to improve yourself, a lot of skills.
Absolutely.
Hey, that's all my.
Yes. As we were preparing from since long, and we give an exam and crack, and it was a really thrilling and enthusiasm thing, right? And there are
Yeah.
like we can talk hours on it, but we have limited amount of time. Yes. So yes, they see our enthusiasm and what's our personality, like what he wanted to do in future, our thought process, all this stuff. So simultaneously at IIT Bombay, I started with my interview. I met Anil there and Nipun also, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So
Yeah.
we guys
The
met
first time.
almost in all place, right?
All of the
Yeah.
IDs. Yeah.
After
Yes.
first time we mostly met in IIT Bombay, and from there, like every IIT was like, okay,
Mm.
you are there, you are here, you are here.
Yeah.
And
Not
we
everybody
started
went to
traveling
IIT
together also
Bangalore.
after some time.
Correct. Exactly. Right.
By seeing everyone works
Everybody
and
has formed. Everyone has formed some groups.
Yeah.
yes,
People were
we were
traveling in buses to from IIT Hyderabad to IIT Bombay.
Yes, 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 exactly. We booked the train
so
tickets. We remember the Guwahati days. We went to Guwahati and
Yeah.
back.
so at all different locations, and in 1 month we have covered almost lot of kilometers, right? Almost
Yeah.
thousands,
Like full
two three thousands.
All this.
India tour or
So
something
many.
like that.
It was like an India.
Yes. Yes. Then so simultaneously, what I was saying, yeah.
You're telling about the
Okay,
journey of
yeah,
You were
yours.
yeah,
telling
we
your
were,
experience.
yeah, yeah, a little bit I forgot. Anyways, so we were discussing about portfolios also. We were used to share our portfolio and seeing the works automotive related. I used to see Nipun's work. He have started with this Nirvana's bike. He's done very great work. And can you talk about
Nipun's
your,
portfolio.
yeah,
Nipun's portfolio was famous because of it was full printed and everything was there. And his binded all
Nipun's
with the
and
two
yours,
portfolio.
yours and Aman's as well, right? You three guys were like
I I
awesome.
I only had some 3D model and sketches.
3D, yeah.
It was very
So
difficult to understand at that time what's important, what's not.
one
So
one point
whatever
that
you
I
could do.
wanted to one point that I wanted to add to what Aman said is like if you are enthusiastic about mobility and vehicle design, then obviously you'll have to prove it there. So if there's anything that is going around in the automotive field, say for example, if there was an automotive show, maybe Paris, Geneva, or Frankfurt, whatever. Like if there are some new launches, then you need to be aware about it, and
Correct.
you need to go those.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Because if they ask you there and you are not able to answer, then your claim of just having passion about mobility and vehicle
Correct.
design will come
You're
falling.
questioning your interest.
That is not good for the impression that you are trying to make. So
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because
be
you have
aware
a
of
very
whatever is
limited time
going
slot.
around.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
So
yeah.
trends, in short, trends like what happened
Trends
past
and
now.
yeah, we can say of design awareness. Like it's not like you are
Awareness,
just
exactly.
Yeah,
being in a
actually,
profession, but as a person also you are involving in design. That is your
true.
involvement.
Correct.
Because see, in IIT Bombay, you have these multiple disciplines, and
Mm.
mostly people apply to like a couple of disciplines. If a guy is applying to mobility and vehicle design, then he for sure is going to apply for product design, and they
Absolutely.
have this list that who have applied for multiple disciplines. So
Both
don't
this,
fake.
like,
I mean, you have to be honest about it in the interview.
yes.
Yes, they say honesty, they see your past experience. So same thing happened with me also. Like I uh, give an interview at IIT Bombay. They ask about the past, what you have did, and what's your current work on portfolio, and what you wanted to do further. So at Triple IT, they asked me like in my portfolio there was projects related to ergonomics, and there are faculties, two faculties are from ergonomics, and they're having interest in it, and they asked me a lot of questions related to it, and I also said them, yes, I am interested to study further, and I guess on that basis I got into there. So yes, we have to prove our enthusiasm, and if the mind thoughts matches, then surely the guy would be inside. So further, we'll discuss about tips how to prepare for interview and what things are important from your point of view. Okay. So starting with again same Nipun. Yes, please.
So, like, what do you want to know? I mean, for interviews, see, mostly if you are from mechanical background, so then again, there is going to be a lot of questions which are related, like technical questions are also going to be there. I mean, even if it is IIT Bombay, it doesn't matter. There will be questions which are related to aesthetics and styling. They do want to see that part of it, but they also want to see what you have done in 4 years and you haven't forgotten it. So those questions are also going to be there. I mean, how good you were at what you were doing is also a thing that they are looking for.
Yes, how serious?
How serious, yeah. Actually.
Yes, absolutely. And yes, going ahead with Anil. Yes, please. What
Okay,
do you think?
so
How to prepare for interview and
prepare
what things should uh,
be in the
person or
mind.
the aspiring guy consider in mind?
Okay. So first things I guess this year we are having online, right? Online.
Yes.
So yeah, I'll be honest. Like when you are in front of the jury or a panel, it's face to face. It's not. It's every time. It's like a live you are going. But when you are going like an online interview, you can prepare for it properly. So I'll just uh, give a subject like. Preparing for a interview and preparing a portfolio is two separate things actually. So preparing a good portfolio can lead into the good interview, right? So for example, what I'm practicing now also, and what I learned throughout my journey is you have to build a story around it for that 15 minutes or whatever timeline you get. So you can use your portfolio, you can use your own journey or anything, but you have to keep engaging them. And for tips, you can get it like a project or your mechanical project. Even you can start with your final engineering project. So and then you can drop into the portfolio, and you can start telling about the journey from design, getting into the design, why you want to go, and then you can build a story like why you did that, what is the particular objective of this. So it's very important to have some kind of a connect when you are talking, whether you are talking about yourself or whether you are talking about your portfolio. And the energy through, you have to be consistent. Like it's not like you are telling about yourself, you are like a very good like a enthusiasm, and what the kind of project you have a very less enthusiasm because you don't know about it. But so what will be that impacting is, and it's especially important when you are giving a online interviews. And I guess most of us we face that when you are going to online interview, then mostly based on your uh, facial expression or your eye contact. Like for example, I'm seeing right now in the camera, so I'm looking pretty confident, but sometimes you're like going down and everything, so it shows like you don't have that much of confidence. So when you are trying to give an online interview, these things you have to should kept in mind. And the advantages of giving online interviews, you can prepare yourself. You can just prepare a good portfolio, like a I can do it right. Sometimes I do it like keep a front face camera on, record yourself what you are telling, what you will tell about the project or about yourself, and just listen it and try to summarize it in a 1 minute again by recording the video. Then you will realize whether you are sounding good or not, whether confident or not. I'm giving this tip only from the what's a online interview purposes. Or face to face you can prepare as much as time you can. But what I feel is right now it's very important to have, especially in online interviews.
Yes, absolutely. It's good tip. So those aspirant guys keep in mind.
Thanks.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. So yes, Aman, what do you think?
I think Anal has explained it very well. Do we seriously need more tests?
Yes.
No, there are actually pretty
Just
much on a portfolio, like how
Okay.
we can make a connect.
Yeah. So, like, if we talk about portfolio, it's like a whole different story. If you're talking about the interview and all, I think you should, as Nipurn also already mentioned, that you should be very clear about what you are here for. I mean, you should not jump. So, like, I want to do UX also, I want to do automotive design also. Let's see, जो होगा वो हो जाएगा. So that should not be there. So you should be confident about it. And even if you are not sure about things, then at least be sure about what exactly you want to do. Are you into research thing? You like to do research and all, so that you can at least connect with UX and industrial and everything else. So also it depends on your background. So there can be questions related to your background. In IIT, they won't. I think they don't ask much questions about your background and all. If you have come from engineering background, so they are not really interested in asking questions from engineering. They really ask to know why you are here. What exactly are you trying to achieve via this course? So, as Anand already said about preparing on camera. See, you are at home. You're not traveling. You have a lot of time. You have a lot of time to improve. If there's something in your portfolio that you can improve, just use that time to improve. They may ask you to sketch on spot, so then you can also show a lot of things on camera. And you're sitting in comfort of in your home. It's a very comfortable place. When you go to colleges for interview, it's a completely different environment, and the pressure is different than doing an online session. Pressure in examination hall is different. So I think students who are appearing for online interviews are, I think, at much more peace and comfort. So use that as your weapon, use that as your strength, and you can definitely prepare in front of camera and be precise. Don't just say things without any structure or anything. I think it's very important to constantly remind yourself what are your strengths, what are the points that you will be talking about. So that you are precise and you just talk on point. You don't just talk irrelevant things in front of them. I think it also says a lot of things about you, how clear you are about what you're doing. So talk about your portfolio, talk about your strengths, tell them why you are interested, tell them that you're really passionate about it. Talk about things that you can engage them. Talk about things that you can uh, talk about your passion and all. Talk about why you're here. All these things, man. I mean, what else you can do?
Yeah, like it's like a touch points where you want to
It's
where you
just
where you
that
come.
you have to be very confident. You have to be clear.
yes, absolutely
And
well
move
said.
on.
And I don't think they ask anything that you cannot answer.
They're
They're
not
almost
there
general
like
questions. They're just
they're not
checking.
there to
They're just
recruit you.
checking. Exactly. Even if you don't answer anything, even if you don't know, just say that I don't know about anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, currently
Just that.
cause of COVID, it's totally online, and during our time we have to go to
One thing
center
that
and
I would like to
yes,
add in this is that one thing that you should avoid is whatever you have put in your portfolio, you should know everything about that. If they're raising questions on your portfolio and you're not able to ask about anything, whether it's your mood board, whether it's your the process, or with anything, even if there is an inspiration, then you should be knowing about it.
Yeah, exactly.
You should be knowing
Exactly.
about everything.
And you know the
Why this
what is
name? Why this
why that
pattern?
image is
Why
there and why that page is there.
exactly? If you're not able to answer anything on your portfolio, then
If you
it's
can't
a
summarize your
very
portfolio,
negative.
you can't express yourself.
Definitely, it's a negative point.
Totally agreed with Amin, because the best case scenario that you can ask for is that your interview revolves around your portfolio, because that is something that you have spent a month or a month and a half on it. Like, at least in our
Correct.
times when we were appearing for the interview, we got to like a comfortable 1.5 months for it.
Yes.
So if you are not able to answer it, then that is a really fuck all situation that you could be in.
Yeah, definitely. And it's
yes,
most embarrassing time of year. Like that one
Yeah.
second or 2 second pause will can
But
create
that is
a very good crack.
And also, I believe that like in when we appeared for the exam, and within these few years, a lot of things have changed. If you go to Instagram, you will find a lot of sketches, a lot of designers. You can follow them, you can see their work.
You can talk to
I
them,
think
you can get
when we
the
were appearing
guidance.
for it, a lot of things were not there. I mean, that was the hype, the design hype was not there.
Yeah, exactly.
Now everybody knows about design. Now there is a lot of stuff online. You can check,
Most of the
you can
design
cross check your
awareness
work
is there.
also. You can take feedbacks online. You can connect with seniors and all. Yeah, you can do a lot of things. I think it's,
Yeah,
you have everything. You have all the tools and everything
you
to
have a
connect with people
platforms.
and ask for feedback.
Definitely. Yeah, it's a good point. So we can definitely get a feedback on the portfolio,
Sure.
on the sketches. Many things
Correct.
are there, but the only thing you have to be keep as a USP, that the story should be yours. It should not be
Correct.
like other ones, or yeah, you can take an inspiration, but the story behind it, or the thought behind it, or even a thought behind it lines, because Nipun can relate totally. A single line can express anything. You can
Yeah.
express everything, so that should be there. So even line can make a very good difference. So that's what
Correct.
also all about.
Absolutely. So our portfolio is not of 1 or 2 week or 2 months work. It started
No, it should
from
not
our
be. Yeah,
childhood. Like it started our passions. Uh,
yeah,
like
it's like a
let's talk
drawing
about
book.
Nipun's and Anas and Amandeep. Like you guys are very start initially passionate about design. Right? Same here. I was also, and we started building portfolio since long time. And whatever the things we have covered, that was there inside the portfolio. And on the basis of that, honestly, we have speak about that. And yes,
Yeah, it was not like I
it,
started portfolio after my result came or something like that. We prepare start from earlier also, like sketches, and I didn't put any sketches, like I didn't make any sketches after the result was announced. I always try to sketch before, and I showed the most of the sketches before my during my which I made during my set preparation. So it's not like what you are doing after that, because you are making that intentionally, and that time it will not come like a that hand will not work in that particular fashion. It will be rigid. That it should be
Correct.
very
Correct.
flexible. So
Right.
you can't fake it.
Yep.
yes,
One more thing is there. I think if you're talking about portfolio, uh, so people doubt their work. So you don't have to doubt your sketches all the time. Also, the process you are following, it can be different from what others are doing.
Yeah,
You don't have to judge your sketch that it is not that shiny or beautiful. It can be a rough sketch. All right, it should be clear. It should convey what you're trying to convey.
yeah, exactly.
So there should be clarity in design. Design is about solving. It's not just about polished renders and sketches.
It should
So
be
your
conveying
thought
that. It's more
behind the
about
design,
conveying the ideas.
conveying what you're
Yeah,
feeling. Yeah, your
exactly.
feeling
I
should be there.
agreed,
It's just
because
fine.
it's a good point, that it's a great tip actually, because everyone thinks like a very good shiny sketches or very good line
Correct.
quality and everything will get me into the any design studio or any IIT design school, but it's not rare. And
No,
we think
it's
like
not
भाई
true.
इसने कर कैसे लिया भाई इसका sketching भाई, it's not only about the sketching, it's all about the process, it's about the what kind of person you are.
Idea.
And yeah, it's a good point actually.
So just do your own work. Try to be as authentic as possible.
Yeah,
And I think it's just fine. Whatever you're doing, your process and everything can be different. It should be different actually.
yeah,
So you're
that
just there
makes.
to show your personality. You're just there to show your thoughts. You just don't have to. I mean, think about that. You're not good. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
everybody is different. Everybody's ideas are different. So it's just all right. You're just there to show your skills, your thinking process.
And if you're
And if it
not
suits them, they
like,
will take you. Simple.
if you're not able to
And
guide
I think,
what
and I
what you
think
do,
even
yeah,
after, yeah,
good,
yeah,
good.
yeah. I think even after our college, it matters a lot in industry also when we appear for interviews. Every company has a different demand from you, and
Yes,
everybody is expecting a different thing. It's not just that you're good at prototyping and good at sketching and they'll take. No, they may not take you. Even after you are good, they may not take you. So I mean, it just varies from person to person. So if you're going to IIT Guwahati, or suppose if you're going to IIT Bombay for interview, then obviously you should have those skills, automotive designer skills, nice sketching. Put some nice sketches, put some rough sketches also. show them what you can quickly do, show them how you generate ideas, show them that particular process. You can do rendering, marker rendering, Photoshop rendering, do that.
Yeah, and if not, you can
And
learn
if you're
it.
going,
Yeah,
so
definitely you can learn it.
exactly in IIT Delhi, it just, in IIT Delhi, it's more about ideas. They are not just, they're not asking you to do too much of, you should be too much of, very, very skilled guy. You can be a normal guy. You can be simple, somebody who
Yeah,
has decent
I can tell
rendering,
honestly, my
because you will
sketching was
improve
not
with time.
that much time, but after going to IIT, like after 2 years, it was like different. And yeah, it's
Yeah.
totally a great point.
I guess at IIT Bombay, they used to create a team from different skills. Like someone having sketching skill good, someone having modeling, someone having like prototyping. Nipun can talk
Yeah.
about more properly.
So anyways, like when you are appearing for interview, they are not expecting you to be at a professional level. They are not expecting you to sketch like Arthur Martins or someone.
Oh,
So basically, what they are trying to
Flavor.
see is your commitment and your passion. So there is a mixed batch. Even I felt the same. That the thing that Vaibhav said, that it is basically a mixed batch where people who are good at sketching are there. Again, then there are people which are very good who are very good at the design thinking part and also prototyping and hands-on skills. So it's a mixed batch. So showcase whatever your strength is, and that will be good for you.
Yes, because I wanted to tell like during IIT Bombay experience, I had my portfolio and I have added sketches, I have added Photoshop rendering, 3D modeling, then photography, painting, so all kind of stuff. And I knew that there were 3 to 4 members in panel, faculties, and they
Yeah.
told me, right, you know everything and why you wanted to do MDS. So it was tricky question for me how to handle it because I knew skills, okay, but I don't know what is design. I wanted to do that, but yes, during that time, I guess I'm not able to explain them properly from my side. So yes, and that was the thing. But yes,
I think
during
interview.
that time also,
Yeah.
yes, it was a great experience, right? So
Right.
meeting and like say showcasing them our work and seeing other friends work and getting little like fearful about yeah his work is so doping, but it's not like that. The skill is different part and our personality and our thought process is different part, right?
yeah,
Because every field having their own skill set levels. In UI UX we don't require sketching skills. In automobile we require the very like awesome sketching skill. So you should have to prepare with your own work and design thought process and how you wanted to solve the questions which are going to arise. Like same thing happens in trend analysis and forecasting. So if we are talking about trends, so whatever the trends was in past, current, and we have to analyze it. What can be the like solution for it, and we have to forecast for this problem. Same thing depends in every field, right? Let's say automobile, we have to think for future form. For UI, we have to think for future UI. For let's say furniture, we have to think for future this. So sometimes you can add the future things in a portfolio that would showcase like yes, your thought process of further. Because as a designer, we are a makers. Like we have to think in our mind, and if we don't think in our mind, then we are not able to make it, right?
yeah, correct. Good. Yeah, I would like to make one point. We just talk about all about skill and telling about the story. The next step I just wanted to make about the communication. Like everyone thinks like IIT requires like a great English skill. Communication is first of all, the misconception is communication is about the English skill. नहीं,
So,
most of I guess everyone thinks about like कई कई टाइम पे हमने हिंदी में भी इंटरव्यू दिया है. So whenever
Yes.
you feel comfortable, just shift to Hindi or any native language that panel can understand and tell your story or tell your uh, idea behind it. It's don't limit yourself like English में ही बात करना है or otherwise any other language. Just shift to that what panel understand, because sometimes panel ask also whether you are comfortable in Hindi or in English. So if you are not comfortable, just confidently tell that you are comfortable with Hindi or any other language, and tell them explain your portfolio. So it's fine. उससे कोई problem नहीं है. They are there to just understand your thought, not your judging your English skills or any like how proficient you are. You can learn it. So that's another. If you feel you're not comfortable, just switch to your Hindi language or any other language that they can understand.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you will feel much embarrassed and you lose your confidence, and that is not permissible during that interview. Otherwise, you lost the chance, right? So just shift to that.
And I guess almost it's been 45 minutes. I would like to know, like all other guys, like the guys are here. What your things in your mind you wanted to let them know, and we'll go with further than question answer session quickly.
Yeah, we can start with question answers right now. We can simultaneously switch on.
Yes, guys, you can put the questions related to interview portfolio. So there are a lot of questions,
Yes,
and there are a lot of questions to Nipurn also, like for future design.
Nipurn has a very good fan base actually.
Do some another session. Yes, Nipurn work is awesome. Yes. So okay, the questions we are going to take in portfolio. I have to find it out. Can you suggest me a good day? What do you think? Nipurn, the question is for you. Can you
please repeat?
Hello?
Can you please repeat?
Yes. Nipurn sir, can you suggest me a good MDS college? He's going to select.
For
he haven't mentioned. Stream? He haven't mentioned the stream, but I guess yes, you can.
If it is for transportation, then definitely NID and IDC, I'd say. And if you're planning to go abroad, then you have like multiple options. But then, if you talk about India, then definitely NID and IDC, and then there are some other private colleges as well. But try cracking this first.
Yes, absolutely. Another question to you: there was a student in your batch who chose the IIT or NID. Can you throw some lights on it? Why exactly?
See, like he's a very good friend of mine, and I am not the one who can answer it properly. I mean, if you want to take him online, then he can answer it better.
Yes.
What his thought?
You can
I'm sure
ask
that you
that guy
you also know him. You also know him, I guess.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, I guess we have a from there. I guess Shubham asked one question. Is it a bad thing that I do not have a model for my projects in portfolio? I have 3D modeled it on SolidWorks. No, it's not a bad thing.
Not an issue.
Not an issue. You can take a good renders of it in Keyshot or something and put it a very nice way, present it in a nice way, make a good hero image of it, and just angles and play with the lights and make it a cinematic somewhat kind of a presentation, and that's fine. They don't want to go for
when you're showing
physical. Yes.
When you're showing it on laptop, you can actually record a video also. You can make some animations also.
Yeah, definitely. There are plenty of softwares out there. Yes. If you have a good model or a detailed model, you can show it that skill too.
Correct. Yes. It's actually a plus point.
Yeah, obviously. You have to be a very good, what is the skill and what is the talent. The skill can be learned. So 3D modeling is a skill, but the approach of modeling is a talent that you have to.
Absolutely.
So that you have to with.
In how less steps you create that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Some takes 10 tips, some might take 5 tips.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, exactly.
Okay, so we'll go ahead with another question. So Snail is asking, process or the end product, what does IDC prioritize during interview?
Process.
Definitely.
I think there's one thing about this kind of questions when people ask about process and end product. It varies from field to field. Specifically in automotive, what I have seen and what I have observed is that it's actually not important to follow a process. Then, there has to be a process, but
Yeah,
it's
obviously.
not just about the process. If you are following a very good, very nice process, and your end product is shit,
Then
then
no meaning.
Yeah,
definitely
obviously.
it's not going to work, because in automotive you have to have a very nice project, very nice product. Other, like, if it doesn't look good, if it's not serving the purpose that you have done
Yes,
done it
exactly.
for, I think the process is waste in that case. In whether if you talk about industrial design, definitely it's very important to follow the process. Obviously, the end product
Let-
with the process will change, but in
Yeah,
automotive,
let- Let's
things is
find a
very
middle
Yes,
different.
yes,
ground.
absolutely. I
Let's
would
find
like
a
to add.
middle ground and agree on that both the things are equally important.
yes.
Yes.
Hmm.
So
At
Both
least
things
The
are equally
at
important. It's
least
not
at
just
least
about
from interview point of view.
definitely,
let's
definitely.
talking about IIT mobility. During our time, there were 8 or 9 seats, right, Nipun? Somewhere
10.
10. So for 10
10, yeah.
seats, you have to crack from 80 guys, like 8:1 ratio. So you have to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
better and better from everyone so that you can crack.
True.
Okay, so not about process, it's not about end product. You have to compare, or you have to compete with other 8 guys. So that's
yes.
very important.
It's
That's
all
the
about
that's
how
the
much
that's what.
emphasis you are giving to the particular thing.
Hmm.
Like if it's an end product is important, you give a 20% emphasis on research and 30%, 80% on iteration. Because every time
Hmm.
process is all about iteration, right? The more you iterate, the more you refine it, right? Like how you can minimize the lines and make it more aesthetic, still looking aesthetic, and do not degrade the quality. If you come to the UI part, does it serving the purpose, does it saving the time of a user? It's all important. So process and end product also important. If your process is strong, your end product will reflect that, definitely.
Hmm.
Okay, so next. There is another question. How to present the portfolio in online mode? I mean through PPT or something else?
No, there is some ways to present the portfolio in online mode. Yeah, there is a way. You can't just share. Yeah, you go ahead, Nipur.
I have never done it, so I can't talk about it. I mean,
Okay,
another
okay.
one.
Like I presented like 2 or 3 times, like while giving the interview for companies somewhat. So that's why I'm sharing that from that point of view.
Mhm.
So it's not like you started with like just screen share and oh, this is the portfolio now. Everything, like you should have some appendix. Like if you have your main portfolio, you should have some subordinate upon, like if you have a one project, you have if you have the model of it, your SolidWorks model should be there present on the SolidWorks, because otherwise you'll open the SolidWorks, it will take a lot of time.
It'll take time.
Absolutely.
So
So you are talking about links. Let's say if we are
yeah, links,
representing the
everything.
portfolio, yes. If the portfolio is short, and if you are explaining briefly about that project, and they want more thorough knowledge
Yeah,
about it, then
the
you can
what kind
open
of
the link and you
portfolio?
can present it.
Yeah, like a teaser
Absolutely.
portfolio, you are making a
Yes.
detailed portfolio, or you are showing only process and in product is somewhat different. So it's all about the strategy, okay, how you will present it, because you are not there
Hmm.
to convince them. They
Right.
are not able to see you, your body language. So it's always important to how much you are saying, because sometimes you say too many things and they don't make sense of it, right? And you
Yes.
lost the point. So there has to be a proper way. That's why you have to be very specific about the points, and that's why the pages are important of portfolio.
Yes,
You should know
absolutely.
the what is the summary of that
Also,
page.
exactly. Also, don't put too much of theory or too much of you know
Text.
readable content on portfolio.
Yeah,
Just put
exactly.
images, visuals. There's no
Short.
point in
Short and
putting.
sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
Okay.
mean, nobody would
specifically
like to
online.
read things in portfolio.
That's
They
why the
just want to see
PPT.
what's happening. So try to
That's
present
why,
it with, yeah.
yeah, you can make it in PPT, but
Nay,
PPT is mostly is all about like PPT bullet points. So everyone will put a bullet point. No,
but
that's why
why
we.
why I'm saying this in engineering, what we do is to put a
Uh,
lot of content in PPTs.
yes,
That's
Just
why
exactly.
pick it
people
and
might
drop
take
it.
it in that direction.
Yes.
Exactly. this much of,
As Anil said,
every page is filled with hundreds of words. Bullet
Okay.
points, exactly.
Will not stretch much. A single question will go ahead with quickly, right?
Yeah, cool.
Yes, yes. So yes, guys, you can do the things as discussed, like for PPT or presentation. Yes. So next question is, it is little bit out of the topic, but we'll cover that quickly. Someone suggests me to crack Potsdam, Germany for MDS in transportation designing. What should I really do for the portfolio? You require firstly BDS, and yes, what do you think, guys?
Yes, I don't have any idea about it, so
No
pause
idea.
them and
Yeah.
also.
There are various designers from Potsdam. Like you can go and talk with them. Like Roman Zenin is one of the guy. Then there are a lot of guys. You can ping me. I will revert back to you. Okay. Then next question is, how is life really at IDC as a mobility student? Yes, Nipun sir.
Everyone put
But
a smile on the face.
काफी मेहनत लगेगी वहां पर तो स्लीपलेस नाइट फॉर श्योर, लेकिन उसका भी एक अलग काम है, तो वो होने वाला है. एंड
Yes.
अ लॉट ऑफ लाइक हैंड्स ऑन थिंग्स दैट यू विल डू, मतलब कि जो कभी लाइफ में नहीं किया है. देयर आर पीपल दे हैव नॉट एक्सपीरियंस दैट पार्ट, मतलब हैंड्स ऑन कुछ अभी ज्यादा किया नहीं है, बट फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम इन आईडीसी यू विल गेट टू डू अ लॉट ऑफ हैंड्स ऑन थिंग्स, sculpting and then whatnot. I mean, clay
Yes.
modeling, all of that. So
I would like to add one point.
IDC, because it is part of IIT campus. It is beautiful, hostels, everything. I mean, the lake. So it is going to be a really great experience.
Yeah, obviously. So I would like to add, like, whenever they ask, like, how's the life of design student in. So the first day, I remember the first day when we start the college, like, they're like, "Bhai, see, outside the IIT, you are IITian and the all are other are normal guys. But inside the campus, all are IITians. So you have to be better prepared or more prepared than everyone else. So because everybody is IITian in that campus, so everyone is that much of smart. So obviously, like Nipun said, you have to be like more ज़्यादा मेहनत करना पड़ता है, and you have to be like days nights, कुछ होता नहीं है वहाँ पे वैसे. And obviously campus और मजे भी करते हैं हम लोग, but ऐसा नहीं, but पढ़ाई भी उतनी ही खतरनाक होती है. Because you are comparing top 50 or
मजे
top 20 in the country, right?
मजे से मुझे एक दूसरी बात याद है. We'll discuss later on.
Okay.
You know the story.
Yeah,
Okay,
there are
next
some sides
question.
of it.
NID Bombay,
Okay.
IDC, NID Bombay and IDC. Not NID, sorry.
When
NID
you
and sorry. I mistakenly he have written B, so I NID and IDC. If I get selected both of them, which one should go with? Okay, discipline interaction design. So you wanted to be in interaction design, and which would be better, NID or IDC?
interaction design, any idea, Aman?
Better to see the then course content. If the course content is somewhat same, then you can it doesn't make any difference. And if you are saying from a point of view of campus placement only, then you can go for IIT. Honest answer.
I think when you are comparing NID with IITs, there is a huge difference in fees.
Yeah.
So obviously,
Absolutely. If the fees matter,
the
then you
choice is
can
different for
go for
everybody.
IIT.
Yeah,
NID,
fee always matters.
if it's not an issue, only you can go to NID.
Yeah, but you
NIDians are
just see the
everywhere.
course content, how much detail in they are going, what kind of tools or what kind of techniques they are teaching in. Because in interaction, most of the things are like ECG and the ECG marking and the what kind of process the card sorting and the usability testing, or whether you are going for any field analysis or ethnographic research, or whether there is a user studies or going on. So just see what is the course content and just be on it. Don't just rely on whether it's a namesake or anything. Yeah, I had to give you brand, but basically once you're there in a what's say in lot after the 2 years is always about your portfolio. Is none other matter like NID or anything.
That
You
is
see
true.
the course
That
content.
is true for automotive design as well. I mean, even if you are going for a college abroad, I mean from Italy or London, you are not going to be sure whether like if you are coming back, then you'll get a job. I mean, it's all on your skills. Like after 2 years, the portfolio that you have, it all depends on that. So what Anil said is like I'll completely agree with that. It is kind of true for all the disciplines.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Oh,
Yes.
it doesn't mean that NID doesn't provide good placement. It's not like that, but I'm just saying like from all the point of view. It was just a point mark I made.
Okay. So next question from Bhujang. I got mail recently for the interview for MDS in vehicle design. I'm feeling the pressure for now. Could you please help? Also, what are they going to ask apart from portfolio? We have already discussed a lot of things, Bhujang. So in short, if you want to let him know, what do you think, Nipun or Anand and Aman?
I mean, one important thing that I missed out is like what the final year project that you have done in your bachelor's is also going to be very important because that was something that was asked to me. So I did some spiral, a bicycle basically, which runs out of spiral spring energy. So I presented that. I mean, that is one thing also very important. And apart from that, the usual design knowledge that you are gonna have.
Okay. So, okay. Next question. How to differentiate industrial and product design apart in simple words? Difference between industrial and product design.
Anil, do you want to answer this?
Okay. Product design in the sense like not that much product design in the sense I like to answer from product design as far as like UX or interaction design. Interaction design is industrial design is like totally more like more about physical stuff and everything. Product is like a big umbrella. Product design, it comes like a what you call a product first. It can be a physical deliverable or a digital deliverable. So the product can be both, right? So so I could like, you can't say a difference like, but you can say industrial design is a subset of product design from my point of view. So because product is can be digital and the physical also. So but the skill required for both at base level is same. Research, whether you are going for a physical or a and or a digital level, and the usability. So some core part remains same, but the process sometimes difference, like you have to sketch or something and you have to iterate or anything. But yeah, it's more of the same thing.
Okay. What do you think, Nipun? Industrial and difference between product.
So more or what Anil has
Yes.
explained. I
Yes.
mean, the product could be anything, digital, physical.
Absolutely.
And I mean, if you are going very specific about it, if you are going into industrial design, then it is more related to like a physical product kind of thing.
Yes. Aman, you having any other thought process or want to discuss? Okay.
I
So
think
we'll go ahead
you
with,
already said a
yeah,
lot about it.
we'll go ahead with another. Yes.
Cool.
Absolutely. So we'll go ahead with another. Another question should be on. Okay. Is making a physical model very important for portfolio, or SolidWorks model works fine?
I guess we answered that. That it's not
Mm,
you can present it in a digital way because you have an online interview, so you can present it like
Yes.
a
yeah.
live, and you can make a very
Okay.
good renders of it.
I mean, if
Another
you have
question.
a digital model or a physical model, it is definitely gonna help your portfolio stand out. If not, there is not that is not that big of an issue, but then you have to be at par with the skills. Like in, I mean, if you are presenting your sketches only, then those sketches need to be really good.
Yes. Okay. We'll go ahead to another question. How is the placement process at IDC? Who manages the placements? Any idea about the process? We having question related to placement.
There are placement coordinators for all the departments, like separate placement coordinators, and there is an institute placement coordinator as well. So I mean, it's really good. The process is streamlined, and they work really hard to bring in bring in all the companies that they could manage. And thankfully, I got placed in Bajaj because of the team that was working. So yeah, a big shout out to them, all three of them. I guess there were three.
Okay, that's great. Another question he's asking. I am pursuing mechanical engineering and it's my plan to do master in transportation design. What should I prepare for? Again, I guess we have discussed a lot about it, but yes. He's
So start
preparing
with the
for
sketches, just sketches. Start the sketching. It's not like doing sketching for doing the transportation design. Do it for yourself. Then it will start reflecting. And just go for some creative aspect. Give some make a one good project that if they ask what is your best project, you can show all the things, the process, the sketching, the model making ability, or anything which requires to get into the Arinco design school. That's it. One project can be enough, but it should be thorough. If you are making only one, otherwise you can make it three.
okay.
That we can
So
start off with.
I guess Gaurav you got answer, and we have covered almost all questions. We might have missed some questions. Okay. Okay. Another question is there. Any idea if having a background in architecture would help out in mobility design?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. There are plenty of architects who become automotive designers.
And already having skills in sketching and modeling as well. So they do a lot of
Even
prototyping. The models that they make for
yeah,
their final presentation, they're already skilled at this.
I would like
So
to add like
definitely,
yes. You can see the work of Chetan Shetjare, a designer. He's a designer in Harley Davidson. He have designed 8 Harley Davidson, and he was architecture, and he got into then design. So you can see, right? Okay. So I guess
definitely.
guys we have
That
almost covered
architecture
all.
visualization skill always helps.
The design sense is much better than engineer. Obviously, when a
yeah,
mechanical engineering guy can do it, then definitely
yeah,
architecture तो कर ही लेगा.
for sure. Agreed.
Yes. Okay, so I guess guys we have covered almost all questions. If you guys any having question further, you can ping us. We'll get back to you, revert back to you. And I'm thankful
Cool.
to. Okay, another question is there. I guess possible is keeping the live sessions on the page. Okay, yes, this live session will be here on live, and I'm really thankful, Nipurn, Aman, then Anil. It was really great time after since we are passed out.
Hold on.
We met
Yes.
initially in 2017, right? It's nostalgic for us,
Yeah,
right? And we have
yes,
given all
yes.
the studio stays, interviews, sharing the portfolios, meeting the faculties. I remember still
Yeah.
that at IIT Guwahati, during that story questions we were solving, and Sarup sir was an invigilator, right? You
Yeah,
Yes.
remember?
yeah,
We
yeah.
still
I
remember.
saw him. I
Everyone
got
was staring at
goosebumps.
him.
Yeah.
Everyone was staring at him.
Yeah,
Mostly
yeah, yeah.
automobile guys used to see him and they had goosebumps. Yeah, this Sarup sir is here and he's invigilator.
Celebrity, no, celebrity. He's a
Yeah,
celebrity,
during
man.
that scene. Yes, and during all
Good,
IITs,
good,
like
good.
we used to meet various very veteran designers, and it was great time.
Yes.
And currently
Yes.
it's online, but I guess it should have to be physical mode. You guys could have better networking, right? And better.
Yeah, and it's a totally different kind of a experience. It's not about only giving interviews. It's all about traveling, making interaction with all the person. Because anyways, you will be there with all the people from all over the India or sometimes world. So yeah, you have to be that much of. You learn so much of things, much more than as a designer. As a person, you learn much more things.
And being
And
in
because
touch
of
with
pandemic
some,
also, I think
go ahead, go ahead.
because of this pandemic, I think it has affected the mental health of everyone. So I
Yes.
think it's very important for students to just you know be relaxed
Yes.
because we don't know who is going through. So it's very important that they keep you know some peace in mind and
Cool,
be
perfect,
Yes.
perfect.
relaxed while doing this and
Yes.
take their own time, have some good.
Yes.
They should not
It's
be pressurized because of a lot. It's just that they should take out some time and watch some movie, hear some songs, listen to some songs, and then
Yeah,
sit for interview.
cool, cool,
absolutely.
perfect.
And for me, like being in touch with some of the seniors really helped me out because you get some insights
Mm.
for interview and
Yes,
studio test
yes,
beforehand. So like
Mm.
one of another senior, Vaibhav from IIT Delhi, I was in touch with him. We met in 2016 when I was in the examination
Great.
center in Nagpur.
Vaibhav Marathi.
Yeah, Vaibhav Marathi. So I mean, you get a lot of help from them.
Help
You
from
know
them.
things beforehand, and that is how it works.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes,
for me it was Instagram only. I met one of the NID guy for transportation and the sketching, and he helped me a lot. I never met him. Like I met him around 2 or 3 times in my life, but he was like such a helpful, and I guess my first render I sent it to him. He sent back like he made some changes in that. He made the proper PPT of it, and that was my first. I learned render from them because I met him after around 6 or 7 months after that physically. But like this is the importance of interaction and making a networking.
yes,
So yeah, definitely it helps a lot making a networking.
Absolutely. Yes, throughout the journey, we used to meet the people and we used to
Yeah,
get
definitely.
knowledge,
Yeah.
and it's the wisdom, all this wisdom, and all this you guys are alumni and you are throwing the lights on. Yes,
Yeah,
that's great.
cool, 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 cool. Thanks.
I guess it's
Thank
been
you.
more than 1 hour, right, guys?
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We could have sit and we
So
could have talked hours and hours, and surely we'll
yeah,
meet soon.
definitely.
Yeah, we'll have
Cool.
the.
Yeah,
sure, sure.
definitely.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. Chalo.
I hope everyone is
Okay.
going designing some great stuff. And yes, thank you so much
Sure.
again, all of you, Aman, Nipun, and Anil. And
Thank you.
yes,
Thank you Vaibhav, for
keep on
calling us.
designing, keep on good work.
Upon
Yes,
growing.
thanks.
Sure. Thanks.
Sure.
Chalo.
Hello, thank you
Chalo.
guys.
Thank you
Thank you.
guys.
Thank
Thank you
you.
all.
You take care,
Bye
guys.
See you
bye.
Thank you.
soon. Take care. Good night.
Take care.
Be
Yeah.
safe.
Okay, good.
Yes. Bye bye.
Bye bye.